Hello? Hello? It's been 5,000,000 years since I last streamed. Well, no, actually, not really. But I should be back. Oh, Patches! Welcome in! Art stream. There we go. Yay! Good to see you, Patches. I hope you are doing well. We are drawing today. And currently, the music I have right now is just Krasno Solntse from the soundtrack of Princess Arete, the Japanese animated film. One of my favorites. Good to see you, Medi. Hehe. It's always good to see you too, Patches, and I'm glad to be back finally. You're doing well? Good, good, good. A Patches that is doing well is good for everybody. That is the Ghost Town law, I promise. Is everything okay volume-wise? Is everything... Oh, I feel so out of it. So why is pen pressure not working? Just a second. Oh no! Oh, jeez, that's... Well, I mean, I could doodle without pen pressure. Treat it like an MS Paint, I suppose. Let me see. Everything seems good to me volume-wise? Yes! Nice. Let me try doodling something. Let me do a very quick me. So far already this is feeling off. Okay, just a second. Going over to just game, and then I'm gonna try and see if I can do anything from my end. Oh, I knew something was going to go wrong. Didn't expect to be pen pressure right off the bat, but Wacom tablets are always kind of weird. Okay. Oh, as it goes. But I hope everything has been going well on your end in life. I hope all of my ghost townies have been doing okay. I was considering doing Lies of P again today, but it's like, actually the last stream I did before I stopped streaming for that brief bit was Lies of P, and I'm like, I don't know if they're sick of it. Oh, yes, it's working. I think. Yep, it's working. Woo! Alright. I've been drawing so much on my laptop these days since I've been around my PC. Alright. Okay, so last time we were working on the Ghost Town Market. I'm sure everyone would have been fine with whatever. Aww. I'm glad. I'm like, alright, switching over to Liza P, but no. I want to work on some concept art and designs. Because I really do want to flesh out the Ghost Town more and more and more. I think being able to give you guys a location to be able to see yourselves in is a really cool thing. Also, that's technically part of my branding, I suppose. One could put it. Alright. Last time we did a market square. Now we should do... Oh, wait. I forgot to... Our stream. Back. Oh my god. No. What happened there? That's strange. Okay. So last time we... This jank-ass stream. Alright, I'm gonna fix it when I get the VOD. But, so last time we did the market district. So now we have to decide on a different district. Now, we could choose to do docks. We could choose to do... Should probably be a wealthier district. I could also work on castle design, housing design, interior design. There's too many options. Alright. I'm just gonna have to choose. Or I could just start doodling. Alright. I don't remember what brush I used for this. Pretty much just a standard pencil brush, I do believe. This is a coloring brush, and we can just use this. Okay. So I'm actually going to bring this up, make it a bit smaller, just so I can remember what I've already drawn of Ghost Town. Mr. Crazy! You're live after a long time. I am. It's been almost a month of no streaming, which is crazy. But finally, life situations calmed down enough for me to return. By the way, I'm in Germany, getting drunk and meeting old teammates? Hell yeah! Erica, hello! Welcome. Getting ready for tomorrow. You can watch me on the big stream. Hell yeah. That's exciting. That's so cool. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Y'all started rushing in. Whoa. I'm so happy to see you guys. I'm attending the Dota 2 World Championship. Holy crap, that's awesome. Well, I'll be able to tell which one is you, Mr. Crazy. If I see somebody twerking, I love that. That's awesome. That's so cool. You know, we have the market square. I kind of want to draw my estate or castle, fortress. Which one should I go with? One of my favorite castles of all time is actually Vlad the Impaler's castle, which is actually very cozy and warm looking compared to what you would believe. But, I don't know. Maybe I'll just start doodling just architecture. Friend, welcome in, Junie! Hello! Everybody's showing up. Whoa, good to see you. It's been quite a while, but I am back. Now with, I should say in the flesh, because in the ghostly essence, in the spirit. I'm back now in the spirit, I suppose. I hope you have all been doing really, really well. I'm still trying to think about, like, what I should focus on drawing, but right now I'm just drawing. I'm just trying to get, I think this is gonna be a warm-up doodle. Song, no, it doesn't. Renex Chinchilla, how to be me? Yeah, no. Currently, this is the only song I have going on the background. You're sick? No, Junie. I hope you are feeling better. Aw, I hope it's not anything too bad, and I hope you can recover soon. Be sure to take rest, be sure to heal up, be sure to take medicine. Take it easy if you can. Aw. Yeah, but right now, currently I just have the song Krasno Solntse from the animated movie Princess Arete, which is a really awesome animated film. Independent Japanese animated film. One of my all-time favorites. Though it's a Japanese film, it is European fantasy inspired. And this song is actually in Russian, I do believe. I'm very fond of it, but I can always change it if need be. The one thing is, like, I prefer things that are, like, from soundtracks, because that way when I upload the VOD, it won't get demonetized. So, soundtracks that are not monetized on YouTube would be nice. Sounds very calming. Yay. I like it a lot. It gives off very, like, medieval vibes, and it's exciting. I feel like I'm exploring a forest now right now. Hell yeah. It's been pretty emotional. Many people came up and asked me why I stopped playing and I will never come back. Aww. I can imagine that would be really, really emotional, Mr. Crazy. But I'm glad that you're able to go back and be able to, you know, be there and have fun. Thinking about patch stone saying feels like I'm exploring a forest right now. I could try doing a building that has architecture built into it with plants. I've been watching a lot of, like, eco-architecture videos like crazy, and so I kind of want to try it. Just a second. This little house I doodled. I lost my Midas touch and couldn't be better than back then. Hey, sometimes you have the pinnacle of your success and you'll never get it back, and that's okay. The beauty of life is in its temporariness. You have moments where it feels like you're on the top, and And then sometimes you have moments where you're at the absolute bottom, but without either of those, you know, life wouldn't be as rich or sweet. But I'm glad that you're back there and you're feeling okay about it. Alright, let me think about this. If we're using sort of a forest vibe to it, then actually what I want to do is I kind of want to sketch this out using values instead of just lines. Let me switch over to... What would be a good brush? I usually like to go with gouache, the gouache brush, but let's do maybe wet blotting ink? No. Thick paint, gouache. Okay. I'm just going to be using gray for now to try and think about this. So first off, stupid bad Wi-Fi. So how's it going, Mettie? Chat? I am very happy to be back streaming. Life situation, not so good, but I'm doing much better now that I'm able to get back into the grind. The arena is crazy big. It can hold 16k people at once. It's gonna be full for the next 5 days until the tournament ends. Holy fuck. That's crazy. I'd be so overwhelmed if I was there. People are even setting up tents outside the arena so they can get in first. That's crazy. Holy crap. Alright. Let's do... Alright. I feel like doing a gradient going backwards to show. I want there to be a forest line coming up here, so I'm just going to slightly keep changing the colors a little lighter, doing it my own natural gradient, because there is like a gradient brush and there is like a blurring brush you can use. By doing it this way, it adds natural texture and bumps. Because I was in a team and know most of the players, I got a free VIP pass and VIP seat. Hell yeah, that's freaking awesome. I hope that you really, really enjoy it all. That's so cool. It's nice to have something that you truly love like that. Or at least memories that you really enjoy too of it. Alright. Setting up gradient. Maybe this will just be me painting random architecture today. That's what I feel like right now anyways. Alright. So far we have the gradient. It gets darker than lighter. Which makes me want to feel like if I kind of want the foreground to have darker texture. A little bit smaller. I kind of want there to be a tree. Ooh, wait. Just a second. Searching up a picture of a weeping willow. I want something that has... I think it's called drupelets. But when a tree is, has leaves that go downward. Right, weeping willow. There we go. Something a little somber. Okay. Well, I have to study. Nice to see you again, Mettie. Have a wonderful night. You too, Erica. Have a good time studying. Genuinely, I hope you have a really, really good time, and I hope that all the knowledge you study sticks in your head well. And I hope that all of your tests and exams go well. Normal seats around $550 for 5 days. Normal VIP is around $1,100 for 5 days. The Ultra VIP is around $1,500. He comes with free booze, free food, and everything? Holy crap. My former team even paid for my hotel and plane tickets. I just had to come. Oh my gosh! That's awesome! Holy crap, Mr. Crazy, that's so cool. Oh my god, that's so awesome. I'm glad that you're able to have people willing to cover you for that. I'm trying to rest up and I'm eating chicken soup and drinking orange juice. Nice. Some nice chicken soup will heal the soul sometimes. And orange juice. Usually when I'm not feeling good, orange juice is kind of my go-to. But, I mean, citrus in general is really, really useful for a lot of reasons to eat. Of course, there's the classic, you don't want to get scurvy, but then there's also, like, it's really useful if you're having any stomach problems or intestinal problems. that can be caused by eating too much grease or meat. I know a lot of people who use that to counteract it. I'm just doing the rough outline right now. I just want to get kind of a general idea how I want this to look. The team owner was like, yo, crazy. We'll cover everything for your ass. We just need you to come and watch it. Basically be the emotional support person because everyone likes you. Aww. That's awesome. I'm proud of you for being somebody where like everybody really likes you and can get along with you. It can be really, really difficult in a lot of spaces. So I closed my bike store and came here. Hell yeah. Well, I hope you have a wonderful time. Holy crap. I'm glad you have a lot of people that really care about you too. Of course I had to bring my pupper. Hell yeah. I need to know how you do settings. Settings as in like environmental ones. I can talk about it. Usually it requires a lot of thought. I try and get overwhelmed. Well, I think it's hard not to get overwhelmed. For instance, with me, one of the things that really helps is to do studies. So like for me, one of the reasons I love doing like backgrounds, like for instance, the one above, is it's actually an amalgamation of a lot of different places that I have studied over the years. And like I have like a giant shelf of art books that I'll pull from sometimes and be like, all right, this really inspired me, this really inspired me. And so like if you just take a setting that really, really inspires you and then kind of try and learn, how does that work? Where did the inspiration come from? That's one of the reasons why art books are so good, because all these different artists will talk about their own approaches. Like, okay, for instance, with this one, I am not fully certain how I want this to go, but I know key things about art design and layout and values and that sort of thing. And the main thing is I want to set up something in the foreground to start showing the sizing of things, and I want this to be quite a large weeping willow. But right now it seems very droopy and sad. Oh, phew, for a moment you were gonna say I have to leave my house. I can do art books. Yeah, no. I'm somebody that, like, is physically not always capable of leaving my house due to just what some of my disorders are, my health problems are. So it's, like, nice to find art books. One of the ones I've been pulling from a lot is, when I was on break, I was replaying a lot of Dragon Age Veilguard. And Dragon Age in general has some fascinating architecture choices. And Dragon Age Veilguard was under development for over 10 years, I do believe. And so when I got the art book, I was really excited about it, and there's so many different things. They talk about all these different things, and like, oh, it's so exciting. And like one of my biggest influences for my architecture too is actually a lot of various French towns. For instance, I love this city of, what is it? I'm like thinking about the kingdom that used to be there because, of course, France wasn't always just France. And one of the places that they actually took into themselves was called the Kingdom of Savoy. And I have a very strong love for the architecture of that region for some reason. And so I take a lot of inspiration from that. In fact, some other towns are actually the ones that I have the Howl's Moving Castle art book as well. And so a lot of my own inspirations come from all the different ties that come from that. And so it's like just figuring out and inspiring and like just troubleshooting too, because like for me, you know, for instance, one of the reasons I chose a weeping willow is, you know, the associations with it. The sadness, the droopiness, but also the comfort. Something weeping with you as well. And is that not suiting for a ghost town? The more you know, the more you can know. Putting yourself into memories too, like, hey, I grew up with this one tree. Let me try and redraw it. Let me try and think about how its branches move, how all these different things come together. Having a picnic under a weeping willow seems nice. It is. When I was little, I actually used to frequent a weeping willow by a riverside. Now, since it's been so long, it's been cut down. Succumbed to disease, unfortunately. But there were like little, I'm gonna do a little doodle of it. But in its branches that would split. So there would be like this sort of crevice, right? So this is the branch going up. And I would look up at this, and in between the split, where all of a sudden the branch would just go down, there were all these little sprouts that would start growing. And so I started to realize that some of the branches of the weeping willow weren't actually the weeping willow itself. It was seeds from other plants that ended up landing in this sort of like small little crevice that had broken out into one of the like branches. I thought it was really cool. Yeah. And so it's like little memories like that. The way that it looks, the way that it grows, you know, that can help a lot when you're doing setting designs. Every little thing can become inspiration, too. That's my main advice with art, is the best stuff you're gonna make comes from what you're inspired by. It can be a person, it can be a shape, it can be a idea that you're just exposed to. But it's through finding those things that settings will come to life. The desire to go somewhere, the desire to seek this shape of home, of comfort. And that's something that I like when thinking about doing the ghost town, is I'm so like, I wonder how I can make it. Something too is that one of the things I like as a possibility is you guys even finding yourselves in it too and being like, hey, can this be a thing? Can this be a thing? Kind of having it be a collaborative effort would be cool too. I know Satin made that awesome ghost towny character for themselves. God, such cool stuff. If you haven't seen that in the Discord, they were chatting about it. And also feel free to make your own inserts if you want. The ghost town is just a place where anybody can find themselves. They're in an in-between moment if they need somewhere to go. So once I try and capture that feeling, try and think about, what is comfort? What is going to be a place where people can really take a moment and breathe? And so for me, I think of weeping willows. I think of somewhere safe where you can picnic, watch the birds, maybe have a moment of, I have an idea. I wasn't sure where exactly this was going. I was like, maybe something inspired by trees, and then I was like, all right, let me just start off by drawing like trees in an environment, right? But the more I think about this, the more I'm like, wait, I kind of want to make this into an amphitheater. An amphitheater, for those who do not know, is a theater that is built into the environment. It's usually made out of stone steps, and they go back for millennia. They're one of the oldest forms of theaters that exist. So it's like a hill built into here, and then there is like a stage. And then there's seats going up. So I kind of want to do that. Still think about it, though. And also, this isn't going to be the most perfect weeping willow, but I just want to get the general shape. I mean, having the ghost town be something that only resembles reality, but not entirely perfect, is kind of cool, too. A little bit of uncanny valley, but not entirely. Majority of fantasy settings are not accurate either. It's the slightest with historical stuff, so don't be too harsh on yourself if you're also a creator. And you're like, ooh. A lot of people overlook the little details, but then also it's little details that help make everything make shape. It's always very interesting. Alright. Adding a little bit of shading. My hands usually aren't perfectly accurate. I often exaggerate. It's how it goes. Humans are full of wanting to exaggerate, make things more dramatic. And that's the delight of it all. Paint the world in your own colors. It's part of the way the world works. And I mean, some of the coolest things is exaggerated. Trust me, I do. Hell yeah. Like, I love from software games, and their architecture is always extremely exaggerated. These chambers do not need to be this tall or big. My hair is rainbow? Hell yeah. I've been helping my friend dye their hair when I was hanging out at their place during my break, and they were doing it so that they were doing Neapolitan colors. It was just like really fun to help them with. Obviously, it has to be that tall in case they get a growth spurt. True. It's so funny how different the vibes are between the top and the bottom pics. I'm like so focused on just like adding like slight depth and like volume to this, and then I like look up and I'm like, ah. There we go. I don't even need to get this much into it. I'll do I'll do better touches later. Right. Then I have to think about how I want to situate the amphitheater I was talking about. I can make it so that this goes down, though. Maybe not. What I could also do, too, is I don't have to necessarily make it be an amphitheater. I could just have seats and tables, and then there could be a stage here. I could do that. Alright, let me try that. I'm gonna switch away. I'm actually just going to make this a bit bigger. Then I'm just going to focus on doing the shadow. The stage is going to have as its edge. Alright. I can fine-tune things. One of the problems about this design is, I've talked about this before, but one of my biggest enemies when it comes down to art is circles and straight lines. And anything like this is going to be a lot of circles and straight lines. Or ovals, I should say. There are tools that can help you draw straight lines and ovals and that sort of thing, but because of how I like my art style is very sketchy, so it's usually more beneficial just for me to force myself to hand draw it. Okay. Actually, what I want to do, no. The more I work on this, the more I'm like, no, this shouldn't be it. I'll do a theater later on. For some reason, this isn't matching what I'm... I feel like it makes it feel mechanical. Yeah, it does. Okay. Gotta think about this. It kind of feels like, in all honesty, this should be a garden. I'm going to just keep doodling and figuring things out. Right, let me move to hatching and move this up. New layer. I just want to make a feeling a bit more of grass. I hate using so many digital art tools when I digital art. I understand. I have both a love-hate relationship with it. I understand the benefits of it, but for me it's like, I like sometimes switching a decent amount of brushes sometimes. But it really matters what I'm trying to do too. In general, like, the top image, I started off trying to use rulers and such to, like, explain things and figure it out, but then I'm like, no. I just gotta freehand it. And it's like, oh, no, no. Alright, I'm adding a bit more texture to help me figure out how I want this to go. Because for some reason I have a feeling that this should be like a wall here. Alright, I think I know what I want to do. This is going to be just a corner of a yard. I can't visualize in my head at all, so if you're ever like, what is Mettie cooking? I do not know. I'm finding this out as we go. I enjoyed traditional art a lot before I got a sense of smell. I didn't realize Sharpies have a smell. Oh my god. That must have been so jarring. Sharpies have such a strong smell. I like the smell of Sharpies, but definitely not something you should be smelling all too often. That's so interesting. Before you got a sense of smell. My sense of smell is one of the... It's my most defined sense. I can often smell more than most people do, so it's a very interesting idea. Graphite has a smell too, so does gouache? Yes, it does. Every single art medium has one. Even kneaded erasers have a smell. Every eraser does. Everything that you make art with has a smell. I think probably my favorite thing that has a smell is I really like the smell of oil pastels and oil paints. I don't know why I really like it. Of course, not all oil paints smell the same, but... My grandmother, when I was growing up, she used to oil paint. I have a very strong nostalgic feeling when I smell it, which definitely helps. Alright, now that I'm getting an idea... Now, I'm not at all a very good digital painter, I'm very much more of a sketcher. So I kind of want to switch over to sketching. I hit puberty and lost like 90% of my sense of smell. Then I got pregnant a few years ago and got my sense of smell back from before puberty. Currently, assigned male at birth people experience sense of smell loss more commonly. Interesting. That's so fascinating. That's so... I'm fascinated by that. There's quite a people... Most people that I know don't have that good of a sense of smell. But I never realized. It's such an interesting thing. Yeah, it's interesting how much, like, hormones can affect the way that people can experience a lot of things. Doctors are confused why I exist. That is really cool. I wonder who thought to test and record that. Me too. That's so fascinating. I really like that information. Thank you for sharing. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Puberty hit, lost sense of smell, then pregnancy hit, and then you regained it. That's something that I find really interesting too, is that I had a sense of smell and finally enjoy spice? Hell yeah. That's something I always find really interesting about like pregnancy is that there are like people who have lost their sense of taste, and also like have lost teeth. Like there's all these different like ways that like pregnancy can just absolutely mess up the body in a lot of ways. And then also people who like have miraculous health improvements due to it. I mean, that's one of the things too is that like hormones are one of those things that dictate everything in the body. They tell what everything does in the body. So, I could see how that could cause it, but not in specifics. People are all, pregnancy isn't that bad, blah, 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 and then pregnancy literally can give you diabetes, literally. It's definitely something to really consider. That's something that, like, for me, I myself am biologically intersex, but I did learn that I was technically capable of pregnancy, and that's something that, like, for me, I know that I probably would never because there's so many risks. I feel like people don't take it seriously enough. Yeah. Even if it isn't about, like, the health concerns, too. Bringing a child into the world is risky, and there's so much about it to be considered. That's why it's really important to stay safe when it comes down to intimacy and that sort of thing. Because, holy crap, not only can just the state of pregnancy hurt you, but having kids is also oof. Totally valid. I'm technically a high-risk pregnancy because I have an autoimmune disorder. Yep, that is really, really dangerous when you do have that. However, if somebody chooses to make that choice, too, being well-informed, then I totally support them. But it really, really is not a slight thing to consider. I wish more people would take it seriously. I don't know if I like what I'm doing. Slightly off. I'm trying to draw this building next to it, but I think what I want to do, I kind of want to have jutting out beams. I think about those parents who get murdered by their kids a lot. Like, if you just had a condom. Sorry, that's more. Nah, but it's, like, true, though, because, like, I only have one friend out of a lot that I've had over the years who does not resent their parents largely, and for incredibly valid reasons. It's a really weighty decision to bring a life into this world. It's important to take care of yourself and the others around you, and also it's okay to admit when you can't. But there's also a lot of people too who don't take care of their pets properly either, even though they're less time consuming than a child, and require less effort and care. So please make sure to... So it's okay to be honest and be like, no, I can't handle that. Like, I know for me, my limit when it comes to taking care of animals is cats and hamsters, and definitely can't handle more than one hamster, and at most 3 cats, but ideally just 1 on my own. 2 if not. As a child of harmful parents, I get it, yeah. It's something too that, like, one of the reasons I went on break was because of housing problems, but then also I was having family issues, and my parents have good intentions, but the amount of damage that they caused, it's hard sometimes to see beyond yourself. However, should they have been parents? Probably not. Probably not. I can handle my pets as long as I can get help getting crickets for my insectivores. Hell yeah. See, that's the thing is, like, as long as you have help, right? And so it's, like, nice being like, oh yeah. And I do believe you are married to Junie, so it's like, don't be surprised if your partner is like, yeah, I got it. Which is nice. Life can be a lot easier too if you have somebody to help you with those sort of things. Alright. I don't even know fully what I'm doing. I said in the stream it's gonna be doodling, and then I proceeded to genuinely just doodle. Like, what is this? I don't know. Kind of have my head off, and I'm just, like, doodling whatever. I'll fix it as we go. Or I won't. We'll see. Let me see. Let's have this. Considering it's a pretty big estate, now there's a few options to go with. So, genuine medieval castles were very simple. They were just big bricks, big brick blocks, and they would be used for mostly defense. Now, sometimes they'd have a barrack, sometimes they'd have other things, but they're very, very simple. Usually they have very skinny windows, just good enough to shoot arrows out of, and then they usually look like that. However, considering how much design flair I want to do, most likely this is something that was done after the medieval time. My partner's bullying me, he's making me drink water. No, Junie, you have to drink water, it's important. I'm glad that your partner's bullying you by making you drink water. You gotta. It's good for you. It's the best thing you can drink. Actually, talking about drinking. Make sure everybody to drink. I just realized that I have not been touching. I made myself tea that I was supposed to drink before stream, but then I was trying to set up all this stuff. And right, I'm gonna take a little bit of sip as well. Hydration is so important. I just made myself a cup of Tetley. I've been missing the feeling of traveling a lot recently. need to find a way to, like, go somewhere. He smiled when you said to keep bullying me. Good! I'm glad. You've got a good partner. Junie needs to be, especially because you're sick. Yeah, you gotta be drinking water. This is even more important. Now is more important than ever to take care of yourself. Seriously. That's something that, like, for me, a lot of my friends can get irritated with me because I'm very much the nagging type of, like, you gotta make sure to drink. Have you eaten anything? Do you need medication? Do you have a headache? Like, are you okay? They're like, no, Mettie, stop. I'm fine, I can get it myself. But I dislike water when I need it. No, that sucks. I know for some people, like, especially when they need water, they get really, really frustrated while drinking it, while, like, if they're just, like, casually hydrating, it isn't too much of a deal. Which I think is really interesting. For me, I think it's mostly just, like, mainly, like, where you live and also the type of water you have can cause a big difference. Like, for instance, if I forget to, have somebody switch out the purifier or doing it myself, it's like, eh. It's probably because I have demand avoidance. Ah, that makes sense. Yeah, that'll do it. Demand avoidance makes everything a lot harder. For me, I'm usually pretty good about drinking. Sometimes I just forget because I'm just a busybody. Or I'll get absorbed in a game. Yesterday, because it's been a while since I've used my PC, because I haven't been where my PC is, I had to do all these sort of updates, and then turns out, like, one of them couldn't update correctly because Windows 11 had to be completely restarted. It's like, oh no. Oh no, a bot! Be gone. You are banished from the Hehe. Banhammer? Yes. Patch just says, I drink a lot of. What do you drink a lot of, Patches? Or you just drink a lot? I'm glad that you drink a lot. I forgot what I was saying. I just drink a lot of water. A lot, whether it's water and whatnot. Hell yeah. That's good, that's good. Autocorrect added the of. I see. Oh, I remember. I was talking about how yesterday I had to update my PC that I use for streaming because it's been so long. And so yesterday I always forgot to drink because it went on for a good, I think, 4 hours of having to all the different updates I had to do. And so I just pulled up my laptop and I was playing No Man's Sky because a new update came out, and I was like, okay, I want to play this. And it's been years since I last played No Man's Sky, so I kind of wanted to feel nostalgic, I suppose. So it was fun. However, I forgot to drink. So anytime I'm, like, streaming, focusing, working on projects, working on anything, that's when I forget, or if I'm just gaming, but as long as there's, like, a lot of movement going on with me, I won't forget. Like, for instance, if I'm cleaning, if I'm handling errands, then I'm, like, really on top of drinking. But as soon as I get focused, oof. Yeah, it's not easy to get myself to hydrate or remember. But I'm trying to get better with it. Just because it's so important. Gonna add a little staircase here. Alright. And a little bit more length here. Alright, cool. Now I'm gonna make it a little bit of a drop back. That way there's, like, a little bit of, like, an overhang up here as well. Which means I also have to define where the wall is. far back it goes. Should be good. And then I need to add a door. That's the problem when you're just shading with black and white. It's trying to define these little details. Like, how do you tell when there's the banister versus the wall? And it's easier for me to know when I look at a piece because I drew it. But for some people, it's like, okay, there's a lot of lines here and I have no idea what any of it means. So it's going over it and defining these little things, little bit by little bit, more and more. Alright. Let's go over, bring it down. Nice. Now I kind of want the door to be here. The door handle to be here. Wrap it down like this. Kind of depends for me. Sometimes I can see it, other times like, huh? Yeah. I feel like for a lot of people, it's like also based on your own personal experiences too. Like for instance, with architecture, one of the most busy styles I know of is like Q Hayashida's, and it's all very, very like mechanical, grungy, dirty. But because there's such consistency with her line work, like everything you need to know is clearly defined. So then you're able to piece it together pretty easily, which is nice. And so, like, for me, it's like, how do I try and convey what I need to without overwhelming the people that are going to be looking at it? Then also, there's kind of a beauty to those very, very frenzied, hectic styles. God, I love sketching. Such a nice feeling. Just listening to my silly little tunes, chatting, doodling. Because technically I am thinking about what I'm drawing, but not too much. A lot of this is just something that like kind of I can turn my brain off a little bit and just doodle. Adjusting little bit by little bit. That's probably my most used feature of anything, is just pressing the C button to make the brush turn into an eraser. Then, same brush I was drawing with, I can just adjust, redefine. I'm doing like 3 things, tech, but I'm taking a break from gaming, so I'm just watching and reading a manhwa. Hell yeah. Hope you're enjoying the manhwa. And I hope that you were enjoying the stream. I also hope you were winning while gaming. What manhwa were you reading, or are you reading? I'm curious. Says the reader, me who constantly is reading. I'm like, reading a manhwa? Lens flares eyes. What kind? Which one? It's amazing how much the comics overall of the world have just been booming. I keep finding more and more manhwa that I have never even heard of, or so many genres. It's like, oh. It's been pretty enjoyable so far. It's one of them reverse isekai types called the Lone Necromancer. Ooh. That's exciting. Reverse isekai. Hell yeah. That seems really fun. Also, I'm playing Silk Song, so no real winning or losing. Hell yeah. I've been wanting to play Silk Song, but I'm like, no. It's been so long since I've played Hollow Knight that I'm like, I should probably replay Hollow Knight before I play Silk Song. Like, obviously, I've heard from a lot of people like, oh, you don't need to replay Hollow Knight. You don't, like, it's okay to go, but it's like, ugh, I want a refresher though. Maybe I should do a Hollow Knight stream. I just jumped straight in, Lamau. Maybe I should do that. Together, me and Patches can be like, alright, what's going on? I was like, if Hollow Knight is the tutorial for Silk Song, then I must give the tutorial. I like that a lot. That's really funny. So you've never played Hollow Knight? Hell yeah. When did Hollow Knight come out? So that was like 2017? I don't know if that's right. I gotta search this up now. I feel like it's been ages since Hollow Knight came out. Let me see. Hollow Knight. It came out 2017! Yes! Awesome. Got that right on the nose. No wonder. 8 years ago. Wow. Maybe I should. You know what? After stream, I'm like, alright, download Silk Song, download Silk Song, download Silk Song. I was like, no wonder. I'm like, has it been that long? Because I feel like I don't remember much of Hollow Knight at all. And then it's like, okay, yeah, actually it was 8 years. It was 8 years ago. Oh my gosh. Damn, yeah, no wonder. It's always funny when you play a game when it first comes out and then you never touch it again, and then like years later you're like, oh, I gotta remember. I kind of love when games do that though, where they like wait long enough for you to like forget the game to be like, sequel, sequel. That's kind of fun though to be like thrown back into it. Oh my gosh, I can't believe 2017. God damn. That's something that I've been trying to think about what I want to play on stream too, because I want to finish Lies of P, and I want to finish Tainted Grail. Also, Tainted Grail just got a huge update, either today or like the day before. But it was like, it was like adding new caves and like new items and stuff to like Act 3, which I have not even gotten close to, I do believe. So it's like, ooh. That's the funny thing about playing games, like, as soon as they, like, release, because it's like, oh wait, no, way more content is coming out, actually. And it feels like I have to, like, sit and wait a bit longer. So, I think I'm gonna do Silk Song next. Maybe tomorrow I'll play Silk Song, or maybe I'll play more Lies of P. I was like, I think I'm gonna play Lies of P, and then I'm like, no, it's doodling time. That's one of the reasons why I think I would struggle to ever have, like, a proper schedule, but maybe I should start doing that. Now that I kind of have a better idea of what's going to be going on, kind of be a nice to do schedule. I want to play more Baldur's Run, Silk Song, and Code Vein, etc. I got so many games to play. I understand. Baldur's Gate. I was considering playing the original Baldur's Gates. I do have them. I'm like, I'm also playing a visual novel called Until Then. Ooh, visual novel? Seems really nice so far. Hell yeah, I love visual novels. That's the one rule I have for streaming. I'm like I try to like avoid visual novels because I get like I end up just like not speaking and just focusing on them while playing them, and it's like, no, I can't. My weakness, visual novels. I get so excited that I just stop talking. And it's like, no, you need to talk. I started playing it for the pixel art graphics. Ooh, I'm so curious. I love pixel art. I'm the exact same way. Hell yeah. Me, Patches. Time to not talk. I really like visual novels. My friend recently just got me one that's like kind of like I started just being a VA for the lines, literally. That way I'm still talking. Yeah. That's something that like you can like do like, oh, I can just do voice acting, but then even then it's like, okay, no, but I'm kind of tired. And then one of my favorite visual novels is Hakuoki Kyoto and Edo Winds, and it already is like fully voiced. So like, especially with those ones, it's like, what would I say? Nothing. I would just sit there the whole time. I promise. Like, it's just like, nah, there's no way I can do that. Love visual novels. If it's fully voiced, you're doomed, literally. Alright, I'm gonna add another doorway up here. I'm gonna make it off the side. We get to sit there and be pretty. Yeah. At least we would do it together. Just like me and you both, like playing like on different streams, just being like completely quiet and being like, okay. Good thing I get a lot of compliments on my model. They're like, well, I mean, at least they're nice to look at, I suppose. Do I like that door off to the side like that? Maybe. I have an idea. I want there to be like a window here. So this balcony is going to be farther pushed back than this little entry area. Or I can do something... I'm gonna have to extend this canvas though if I'm doing it this way. I have like this idea, but I'm like, how am I gonna execute it? Because I kind of want there to be like a window on this balcony that looks out to the side. But then... I might have to just cut the wall here. Smudge this out. Nice. And then get rid of this line. And I should define this a little bit more. Oh no! We're nowhere. Why is this drawing so hard? Why does it have to take years of studying and practice to accomplish anything? Come on now. I say I haven't dedicated years of my life to this. But every day you're getting better and better, you know? Naturally, when you put yourself into a art form of any kind, you're gonna get better the more you try at it. That goes for a lot of things too. I mean, if you want to think of it that way, streaming as well is kind of an art form as well. Requires communication, skills, visuals if you so want it, display. Kind of in itself a form of theater. Alright. I want to bring this down. No, I don't like that. I don't like that. Alright, let's do it like this. Define this edge so it's clear that there's a stop here. So far, this sketching time has been all over the place. Alright. Now, how do I make it distinct that these are two different walls? This is so weird. I don't think I can do it. Unless I used color. Color, my enemy. I like colors. If you've ever seen my original characters, they're all very strangely colored and also quite colorful. But one of the reasons why they do have such a strange coloring thing is because I myself, despite all my studies, can't fully grasp color. It feels like an enigma slipping out of my fingers every time I try and figure out how to do it. And if you've ever seen like my speed paints I've posted on YouTube, they're not that good. However, especially my ones that were off of stills from the movie Happy Together that Wong Kar-wai was the director of, those are really useful for me to understand color because I didn't like pick from the screen itself. I like tried to just match it by just looking at it, eyeballing it, and that film is incredibly good with its color design and like the meanings and metaphors for it. But it's still like, I don't like that window choice. No, that's too modern. It needs to be, and I'm like, what if you made it latticed? All reliable, and I'm like, what if you made X's through it? My favorite type of windows. Right. Then a little bit of shading top-down lines. I don't know how to make this top balcony not look like shit. Actually, what I might do... No. Maybe if I make this all darker. Show that it's far more talked back than everything else. I don't know. I'll figure it out. 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 I mean, that's kind of something. Whatever. Sometimes you just gotta throw up your hands and say, fuck it. Fuck it. Because perfection is elusive. I've been feeling about that way a lot. I've been working on more covers because it's been way too long since I've done one of my weekly covers that I post up on YouTube. And I'm like, oh, I don't like any of these. And it's like, nope. You have not put content. Toss that up there. Somebody's probably gonna like it. And a lot of people do. Or a decent amount of people. Way more than I expect. And hey, if one person looks at your shit and goes, not bad. It's pretty good. Alright, I definitely want to add, like, lighting. I'm gonna make it, like, kind of like an oil lamp. But, like, on a, almost like a torch-like sconce. And actually, I kind of want to shade this upper area more, so you can tell that the balcony is casting a shadow. The light is going, like, this way. And actually keep that arrow there so I don't forget. There we go. Well, that's something. We've drawn something. What this is? A corner of a building. This is something that I do a lot when I draw, is I start off by drawing something and then I'm like, oh wait, no, that's too small, and then I just continuously extend the canvas outwards, and I have a funny hunch that that's gonna be the case. I think right now what I'm thinking is like a cute little garden. Actually, what I kind of want to do, I'm gonna make a new... I kind of want to start drawing like bushes and plants and flowers. But I kind of want this to be spiky, but I don't like the texture I give it immediately. Alright. Enhance. Okay. Now, I'm gonna just start off by doing probably simple circles. Something that looks like it could be like fruits, berries, maybe? Actually, I kind of want to make it so that it goes up like this. I have this instinctual feeling to make it like a cedar bush that's really, really small. But I don't think I'll be able to capture that well. Something related to like a cedar or something like that. I love the smell of cedar. One of my favorites. And for us in Anishinaabe, it is actually considered medicine in a lot of ways. When I worked as a live-in servant, the property that I worked on always smelled of cedar, which I liked quite a lot. very calming smell. It's always interesting what people find is their most calming smells. The other day, me and one of my best friends, one of the person who was letting me crash at their place until I got things sorted, we were going grocery shopping and then we stopped in the candles section. We spent so long just smelling candles. It was interesting finding which ones we really didn't like that the other actually liked. And one of the things I thought was really interesting is one of the smells I actually like a lot is the smell of frankincense. And my friend, he absolutely hates it. I'm like, no. But he has a troubled religious background, so I always wonder if that's like one of the causes. Honestly, I probably should have asked him about it. But, I don't like to bring up too much of touchy subject matters. If we are just having fun smelling candles. Though I got a headache afterwards. Be careful smelling candles in the candle aisle. There's a good chance you are going to get a headache. It's not too that my sense of smell is really strong. Also, I'm like allergic to random things. Like I'm allergic to lavender for one, which is very common in scented candles. I think it's interesting. I think lavender is really, really pretty as a plant. But I've never really liked the smell of it. I'm trying to draw stones, but these just look like smudges. Keep going. Alright, I kind of make a bush like right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to this layer and start erasing this. Yes, it's all coming together. I love landscaping. It's always interesting, like, one of my main things that I watch on YouTube, especially if I'm stressed out, is like architecture stuff, and like, oh, this person made a house out of an old fishery and made it eco-friendly, and the trees, like, take priority over the buildings. I'm like, interesting. So it's, I don't know, it's just one of those things that I really, really like. Alright, I kind of want it to be a stone path leading away. Like, very, like, not very pretty, just cobbled stones tossed in the ground and set up. I always liked that. When I went to France and was doing, like, touristy things, I always found it really interesting when I would walk on old cobbled roads that, like, were really, really, really jagged. Like, it feels like just a tripping hazard, but a lot of them were very old or really belong to that style, and I actually really like it quite a lot. You just gotta be more thoughtful about it. Thoughtful with each and every step. Like, I think I very much do prefer, like, stone and brick paths over, like, cement. Especially if they're, like, real stones and somebody took the time to look at each and every one and be like, what if we put that stone there? And I feel that way also with stone walls. I like that level of thought, consideration. Quite nice. Alright. Man, I never really wanted to learn Russian before I learned of the song. Princess Arate is one of my favorite movies of all time. And I didn't even realize that the song was in Russian until I was like, alright, I'm obsessed with this song, I gotta listen to it more. But I love... Princess Arate is actually free to watch on YouTube too. Maybe one day I'll do a watch along of it. I love that movie. And something too is like at the very beginning the song plays and the main protagonist is this now classic sort of princess who is locked away in a tower, but she's very, very cute. She's got very big frizzy brown hair and she's got like kind of like a very like basic dress on. Like it's very, very accurate to medieval times in the outfits. Looks like maybe 12th century garments. Not really specific to any place that I can tell personally. Somebody probably has the better knowledge on it. But it's her going through the street markets and talking about how no matter where she, like, wizards have been gone for a while, but even in this market, people's hands are constantly doing things that are magical, and it's like showing, like, you know, the dyers and the weavers and all this sort of stuff, and it's her wondering where her place in life is. It's a very nice movie. It's not its plot is not at all what you would expect. I love that movie. Also, the soundtrack is killer. And that's a big selling point for me. The soundtrack is good. Shit. Sometimes that's enough. I mean, I've talked about it before, you know, being a fudanshi and stuff. But, like, one of my go back to animes is actually mostly because of the soundtrack, and it's Sekai Ichi Hatsukoi. Because it's just the soundtrack is so good. Have some badass bitches and also most needed. Hell yeah. Wispy R dance. Fuck yeah. Seems like you're jamming out, Mr. Crazy. That dancing emote is so funny. Are you having fun? I hope you are. I'm just relaxing and doodling. Oh, that dance is cute too. Oh my gosh. I guess I have such cute emotes. When I finally unlock the ability to do emotes, I definitely want to do some animations and work on some as well. Those are so cute. Oh, to be jamming out. I mean, I am kind of jamming out right now. More pensively. I like how we all have twerky emotes. I do too. It's funny. I like it a lot. I feel like twerking has become such a, like, so much of cultural importance on twerking now. It's so important. I like it. It's a very fun dance. I always find it cute too when I see somebody trying to twerk and they just absolutely have no ability to throw back. It's like, oh my god. That is very delightful that you're trying. It's very funny. Especially when it's like the flattest guy and they're just trying their best, and it's like, I'm so glad. I'm so happy that you were trying this, because this is, god, it's such a sight. I need to at least have some kind of ass to make it work, literally. If you don't have any, then, like, there's nothing to throw back. There's it's just such a failed attempt. But it makes it even funnier, though. People will still try regardless. And I'm glad. It's so funny. I can throw back with my belly. Hell yeah. Big belly, that's good content. Alright, adding a few stray stones on that. It's full of food, so now I can jiggle. Hell yeah. It's so funny when people get those really big, like, food bellies, and it's just huge. It's always really... It's always nice to see people who have been eating really well, though. Hope you've been enjoying all the good food. Hope that is very yummy. Alright, I want this to have like a design. I'm rocking that sleeper dad bod build. Hell yeah. I mean, dad bods are nice for a reason. There's a reason why there's a market for them. Sleeper dad bod build is awesome, dude. Mr. Crazy with the epic build. They comfy as hell to cuddle. Very, very true. See, that's the thing, is that like usually dad bods got a little bit of muscle, so they're like reliable, but then also they're a lot more soft and comfortable. That's something that like I respect and I understand my friends that are on the skinnier or leaner side, but it is way more comfortable when you do have some fat to you. It's just the truth. Big bellies are big comforts. Also though, I think beer bellies are really, really cute too. But I just like seeing people enjoy themselves and have fun. Definitely a big factor of it too is, especially with me being sickly, it's like, please enjoy yourself, please. Still can throw you to bed if I wanted. Hell yeah. Mr. Crazy got that awesome build. Strong, but comfy. As it should be, as it should be. I think having a decent amount of muscle is very useful too. I mean, if you need to move furniture, if you need to get work done, if you need to fix something, it's so essential to have some backup muscles. And even something too is like, even with me as an artist, I have to do certain workouts for my wrists because of, to avoid carpal tunnel and such. Part of body maintenance to a certain extent. Alright, I don't know if I like the design I'm doing. I want it to be like plants, but obviously I'm not keeping it down. Like moving up and down a lot. Alright, let me move this down. I'm barely 6'3". Hell yeah. 6'3" is a pretty solid height. Unfortunately, it's still really uncomfortable when it comes down to like if you're going, traveling, that sort of thing. It's amazing how many different like showers and beds aren't made for people who are 6'3". My old man, he's 6'4", and he has the dad bod. When I hug him, it feels like hugging a bear. Hell yeah. That's awesome. Mr. Crazy Dad probably feels awesome to hug. That's so cool. It's always nice when you get a hug from somebody where it's like, oh, this is so comfy. 6'4", dad bod. It's awesome. God, 6'5" is quite a height. I think the tallest person I've ever encountered in real life was 6'9". And my childhood friend, she's 6'4". But it's like, ooh. And of course he has the badass long mustache. Hell yeah. Oh, I fuck with that heavy. Long mustache is awesome. So I really do like facial hair. Hell yeah. Your dad sounds freaking awesome, dude. Got the cool long mustache. Hell yeah. I need to add more details between them. I need like some sort of... I'm probably gonna just do dots to like kind of make the eye trick. If there's something there. He's a druid, half bear, half human. Big old belly. Hell yeah. As it should be. He's living the best life. The best build, the best body. I support your dad in his half-druid dreams. He's a druid. Not half-druid, half-bear in his half-bear dreams. That's awesome. That's kind of like the peak build. Okay, I'm starting to like how it comes turning out way more. It's hard to discern what it is now, but I kind of like that. I've gotten the kind of idea down. My mom is 5'1". I don't even want to know how they made it work. She's the midget of the family. I mean, 5'1" isn't bad. I say as though I'm not like 5'3", 160 centimeters. I mean, I'm one of the tallest people in my family, and I'm only 5'3". 6'5" and 5'1", though, that is a crazy height difference. Because in general, like, the human head isn't bad, they say. See, I'm considered a lot more on the petite side. But I think people are beautiful regardless of height. Because I'm way more taller than her, so whenever she want to yell at me, she asks me to get on my knee so I'm at her eye level. That's so funny. Getting on your knee so your mom can yell at you is really, really funny. I hope that you... That's so funny. The fact that she, like, asks you to kneel is so funny. I feel like that's also, like, establishing authority, though. I mean, like, kneeling before the emperor. I'm sitting at, like, 5'7" to 5'8". Hell yeah. I feel like the most comfortable range to be at when it comes down to, like, most things should be, like, I think 5'5" to 5'9", considering, like, average bed sizes, traveling sizes, clothing as well. Like, you don't have to roll your pants up to cuff them. If you're that height, I think that's, like, some of the best. Yelling before the emperor, lol. Literally! You have to get on your knees in front of your mom so she can yell at you and scold you. Don't you live longer if you're short or whatnot? It is pretty common. I remember hearing that somewhere. Oh yeah, I have custom-made suits and clothes. That's fucking awesome. Yeah, when you're tall, it's something that, like, having a tailor to help custom make things is super useful. For me, I usually have to just roll up my pants. Though I have inherited suits that, interestingly enough, I've had a similar body shape to some of my other male relatives. So I have, like, tailored suits that fit me, but I've inherited. It's strange. I know that some of the people that do live longer are, well, the oldest woman who has ever lived was French, and she wasn't that tall. And then a lot of places where they have huge health spans, they are shorter. Like, I know one places that have the longest lifespans in general is Okinawa, and most of them are very, very short. Though as when you're older, you also shrink in height as well, which is maybe a factor. I think it makes sense. I feel like tall people usually have more joint problems, possibly. I think it goes case by case. And he's a childhood friend. He's a fashion designer, so it's a win-win. Holy crap. That's awesome, Mr. Greasy. Having a fashion designer friend that can custom tailor for you is so fucking cool. That's awesome. You're living such, like, a exciting life. That's so cool. Mr. Crazy dripped out. I'm not that tall and I feel like my joints are broken. No, patches. I understand. I mean, I'm somebody that has, like, well, I have muscle deterioration. So some of the reasons why, like, I can't always go out all too much is because, like, my body is actively, like, I gain muscle and then immediately it's gone. And then also I have lost 2 inches in height due to body problems. So yeah. Sometimes, I mean, joint problems are super common too, especially because if you don't take care of your body properly on top of all genetic problems. It's a whole list of things, unfortunately. But I hope your joints can feel better, Patches. I'm half Norway, so I got my height from my dad's side, from them Viking bloodline. Hell yeah, that's awesome. I went to school with somebody who was Norwegian, and he was really, really tall. I don't know how tall he was, but he was a senior when I was in high school, so I never really got to chat with him all too much. He's just friends with one of my other friends, really. It's cool. Got them long, flowing Viking locks. Hell yeah. Norway is a very beautiful place. Have you ever... I'm so curious what Norway's like, though, when it comes down, like... Do they have, like, noticeably different, like, height accommodation? Like, do they have taller ceilings and doors by standards? Because I know that, like, in a lot of places, like, average ceiling heights are, like, 8 feet? Older houses, I do believe it's, like, 9, 10, and then in more elaborate places, it goes up to, like, 12 feet. I'm trying to think of what the centimeters are on that one. But it's, like, I wonder if Norway has, like, way taller doors and ceilings and such. I never really looked too much into Norway, but now I'm curious about this. My dad always gets his mustache braided in the old Viking way. That's awesome. That's freaking cool. And it fucking fits his giant ass. That's awesome. I've looked into living in Norway. Oh, really? That's so cool. Because I want to live up north? I understand. Living north is usually really comfortable. Well, I'm saying that as somebody who's, like, indigenous to, like, a very northern part of North America. The continent. So it's, like, oh, I love colder temperatures. I love... Well, also something, too, is, like, I'm very sensitive to, light for various reasons, so it's, like, nice. Oh, to be somewhere that's nice and cold. I've talked about it before, like when I was working as a live-in servant, I used to literally shovel tons of snow. If my body was up to snuff, I would love to get back to it. God, I love the cold. I support you, Patches. If you can move somewhere colder, I support you. Somewhere that is nice and comfortable. Especially because of all the climate change going on. The closer you are to the equator now, the just more hot and miserable and the more natural disasters are going to be popping up, so... If you can move to somewhere that's more comfortable, I really, really hope you can. Alright, let me see. Something that is interesting that I have seen from, you know, being Anishinaabe, Native American, is boats faring natives, like if they're in more watery areas, they are, and also like the more cold it is, usually the shorter they get. And then when it's more in like hotter environments, like more southern native tribes, they're usually way longer because it's like having to, especially if they had a lot more plains and such they had to go through, which I think is really interesting. It is so fascinating. If you guys plan on visiting there, I would say 8th to 11th of June, best days because we host the Viking festivals. And you get to meet badass people, checked girls, boys, hell yeah. God, that sounds awesome. 8th to 11th of June, I'll have to write that down. I was saying that I did want to travel soon. Maybe I'll head to Norway, though I don't really know much of the language. Yeah, I could learn. That's really cool. Viking festivals. That's awesome. Have you gone to enjoy the Viking festivals? Mostly English is good. Alright. That's good. I know in like, I know I've seen people who are Swedish talking about how it's really common for like them to learn like English as like a second language. So most places like it's fine because like it's just part of like mandatory education a lot of times. I wasn't sure about Norway, so if English works, then that's good. I definitely want to learn a few things in their language though. I always feel like embarrassed when I'm in a place and I don't know the language. Like when I was briefly stopping in Amsterdam, I was like, oh, I didn't realize. Like, I don't know any Dutch. Help. But It does feel nice to be able to talk the language of the people around you. God, there's so many beautiful places on this planet. Viking festivals would be really cool to see. Ooh, yeah, I even participated and got the second place in a strongman event. That's so freaking cool. Holy crap. That's awesome. Did you like spending time in Norway? That's so cool. Because like, that's so cool. Second place in a strongman event. That's fucking awesome. Let's fucking go. Ooh, way hanging around with my fellow crazy people is always fun. Fellow crazy people is always fun. Hell yeah. I'm glad that you are having so much fun, Mr. Crazy. Messing around, having fun. It's awesome. I think for me, I'm a very reserved individual, and usually when I travel, it's very much like I like to just chat with locals and just spend my time very like quietly browsing historical areas. So I think I would actually really enjoy going to Norway because I would love to go to historical sites, and especially museums. It'd be fun. But I'm very much a nerd, so I would like to. Maybe I will go to Norway. This is some nice. Got so many different places I want to travel to, though. I would like to go back to the UK as well. I have, the app that I was using for traveling has been giving me, like, oh, discount on these flights to these locations that you were looking at. I'm like, no! I'm always being tempted. Maybe next year. Try and do some recording and stuff. Maybe I'll upload, like, a travel video to my YouTube, perhaps. Not anything too obnoxious, but just enough for you guys to be taken along, maybe. I mean, I also got myself a better laptop earlier, so I could take that with me and maybe do some streaming overseas, too. Be nice. If lucky, you'll need Julius Bjornsson. Once 62 national and international competition. He's the chief of their tribe. That's fucking awesome. That's so cool. 62 competitions. Holy fuck. That's badass. That's so fucking badass. That man will rip a bear in half? I believe it. Holy crap. God, that's so cool. It's so fascinating how strong humans can actually get. And of course there's cases too where people who don't even do necessary muscle training all of a sudden get incredibly strong. Like there's a lot of cases too recorded of like women who like their child in danger and all of a sudden can like move a car with their bare hands. So imagine how strong a human can actually get when all of their mental limiters are off. That's so cool. He's 6'5" and weighs around 200 kilograms. Sheesh. But like a beast. That's awesome. Damn. Impressive numbers. 62 competitions, internationally and nationally. 6'5", 200 kilograms. Hell yeah. And his wife is tiny, just a baby. That's really funny. It seems like pretty common for guys that are tall and strong to have pretty small wives, which I find really funny. But maybe it's like because like some of the most fierce and powerful women that I know are really small. Why does a strong, tall man always fall for short, angry wives? I mean, I feel like that's a trend. It really is. I mean, power comes in different forms. In some ways, I mean, maybe that's their equal at the end of the day. That height and physical strength can't make up for what their small, angry wives can. I mean, a lot of people like people who, like, compliment them. Of course, there's also people who like people that are very similar, but, yeah. I bet she also makes him kneel so she can kneel at him. Probably. It'd be funny, too, if she pulls out, like, the step ladder just to yell at him. That's one of the reasons why I think I actually kind of prefer... Also something too is like, one of the reasons, like, I'm 5'3", and regardless of the person's height, like, if I fall in love with somebody, I fall in love with them. But I do prefer somebody that's more my height, because if I do want to yell at them, it's easier. And also, I mean, can't easily make, in a lot of ways, kissing or intimacy that easy in that case. So, ooh, it'd be rough if they were way too tall, much taller than me. My mom jumps and grabs my ear and makes me kneel. That's so funny. Jumping is so extra. I love it. She's like, Mr. Crazy, you need to actually listen right now. Love that. Kudos to your mom for being able to yell at you properly. That's awesome. She seems like a very awesome individual. I was trying to find the right words. It'd be difficult. But I really do like a woman that is fierce too, though. Especially because, like, they know how to run things better than most. It's funny whenever I see my parents cuddling and kissing, Pops always has to bend down. Like, isn't that gonna hurt your back? Like, leaning that far down? When he hugs her, he just lifts her up and carries her. I love that. Okay, but, I mean, being picked up and carried around does kind of sound nice, though. It's kind of like you're a cat or like an animal that just, like, alright, pick me up. That's so cute. Seems like a very, very sweet relationship those two have. Makes me really, really happy. Alright. When I add these, like, dividers on these walls, it's to help know where the floor separation is. Such a power move. Whenever you're tired shopping, you'd be like, hey, time to cuddle and get lifted around. Oh, that's so awesome. I mean, like, hey, you get tired, it's like, alright, pick me up. I'm done. Oh, that actually sounds kind of nice. That's so sweet. That's so cute. Okay. I said I was gonna make this a big willow, and then now that I'm drawing this building, it looks smaller. So I'm probably going to extend it up and out. I'm not gonna change the size exactly. But I definitely do want to go in with the brush that I switched over to using and define the leaves more. I've got a better idea. I keep thinking about the picking up and being carried around thing. That's so cute. I love to see people in love. It's so cute. I love it. Whenever they walk around, Pops always walks behind her so she can track her and won't lose her and make her safe. That's cute. You can see everyone and everything from back of her. Aww. Your parents seem like they're very, very in love, Mr. Crazy. That's so cute. I'm happy for them. Being able to look out for your small little wife. That's cute. He's the telescope. So real, Patches. He's on surveillance. He's got the view. Alright. I have to extend this canvas. I'm gonna extend it up first. First and foremost, I should say. Make me sick. One time my mom called. Ew. No. Yeah. I almost threw up. Yeah. Even if it wasn't. I mean, one, that's your parents. That makes it even more disturbing. But two, like, anytime I'm in public and I hear a couple being like, I don't even like saying the word myself. If somebody calls somebody daddy around me and it's like the romantic partner, I'm going to be sickened. Like, to each their own, but absolutely fucking not. I know she just wanted to see how I would react. Oh god. Yeah, no, I would also be really sickened. I'm all for pet names, but I don't like daddy or babe as a pet name. Same. I'm in the same boat, Patches. Like, that's just a personal preference. Me too. I understand completely though. Because like, for me, like, the pet names that, like, I mean, there's so many that exist. Actually, there's quite a few I don't like. I'm very limited in how much. And I do like using pet names for, like, people I do like, but it's like, ooh. Daddy is one of the worst. Even just saying it makes me feel ugh. But when I was playing My Time at Sandrock, when you get a partner, you can choose how they decide to call you, and it can be like a variety of pet names. And I really like the voice of the guy I was romancing in that game. And like, I'm very weak to some pet names, I realized at that moment going through them all. But it also matters who says it too, because if somebody you hate is like, darling, it's like, ew, gross, leave me alone. Like, I felt that way playing Baldur's Gate when a star would say darling, and I'm like, darling. Like, I'd give them a pet name or a nickname, but it would come about naturally. Like, I see you eat a ton of berries, so I'd call them Berry or something. That's cute. I like that a lot. I think for me, it would also have to come about naturally as well. I think probably the things that sometimes I just use pet names normally for people, like if I care about them, but I think I feel like I have a problem that a lot of my affection I show towards people is very much linked to the fact that I've shown most of my affection to cats. So like when I'm with my cats, I'm like, oh sweetie, what's up? Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you yelling at me? And so I could see myself just like accidentally like falling into calling somebody I care about like something I would call my cat and be like, all right, no, we're resetting that. That's weird. I don't know. I call my names Dwarf 1, Dwarf 2. That's awesome. Treating everyone like cats. Yeah, like, and sometimes even with like my friends, like when they aren't feeling well, it's like, oh, sweetie, I'm so sorry that you don't feel good. And I don't know if I do it with you guys as well. But you might hear me be like, aw. I can imagine everyone in the room freezing as you say it. It's like, I guess something too is like, I don't know. Aw. Are you not feeling too good? Alright, come here. Like stuff like that. But, what do I call my cats? Well, probably wouldn't call any human what I call some of my cats. Like, one of them, when he like flops, he like spreads out, and I call him a lump of lard. Like when you throw a lump of lard on like a skillet, and it like spreads out. When I was in Korea, everyone was looking at me and taking pictures like I'm the goddamn Slenderman. I love that. Our resident Slenderman in chat, Mr. Crazy. I love that. And the fucking showers are tiny as hell. They are. That's something that, like, when you're tall, there's gonna be places. There's a lot of places that aren't going to be good for tall people. I know a lot of Asian countries don't have good accommodations if you're like 6 feet. Don't even get me started on the toilet seat. Yeah. The pain of being tall and in Korea. Hopefully, but I think they've been making a lot more efforts to be accommodating to more foreigners. So maybe one day Mr. Crazy will have better showers and toilet seats. My cat had like 3 names. Some called him Kaneki, his actual name was Blue. I called him just B occasionally. Hell yeah. I give my cats a lot of nicknames. Like the one that shows up on stream a lot is Miles, and he's called... The one people call him the most is My, and I call him a lump of lard sometimes. But I also call him just like normal things, like just like terms of affection, like, oh sweetie, aw darling, aw you little thing. I'm trying to think. Usually it like comes up before I can even clock what I'm saying. Also Stinky. Sometimes I just call him Stinky. Oh, that's Stinky the cat. Kaneki, Blue, and B is really cute though. And Korean people, their usually height is pretty short all around, so I get it. Yeah. I grew up in a town that had a lot of a Korean population, and like every once in a while you'd get somebody who was like 5'11", but majority of people were pretty short. It's always interesting seeing like the average heights in different countries. Luckily for me, I don't think, no matter where I go, it isn't going to be too much of a problem. A very comfortable short size. Though, I know some girls that are 4'9", which is crazy to me. Because it's like, oh my god, you are so tiny. I think the shortest guy I know is only 4'11", which isn't too bad, but it's still like, dang. But there's like this, when it comes down to being shorter, the only things that become inconvenient when you're short is if you're in a grocery store and you can't reach the top shelf well. That's the only thing I can think of, really. Hey, if you guys want to watch the Viking Festival, I can lift you guys around so you can see better. Hell yeah. I might take you up on that offer, Mr. Crazy. I'll let you know. You know, I'm in Norway, and I'm like, Crazy, please, I need to be lifted up. That'd be so goofy. I'd probably wear heels that day. Even I'm wearing my 10-inch platform. I always think it'd be really funny to just walk around in huge platform shoes for like an event. So it's something that really funny too, though, is my childhood friend who I was talking about, who's 6'4", she often will wear platforms, and it's like, why do you why do you need more height? I mean, she looks stylish, but it is just really funny. I support. Tall girls in heels and platforms, I support you. It's difficult to find shoe sizes, especially if you have bigger feet and you're looking for women's shoes. Amazonian in training. I don't think those kind of goes will be good on your legs, and going around in grass and rocks, yeah, it won't. Soon to be Wonder Woman cast, literally. That's something that for me, I usually don't like to wear heels. Usually the most I wear is like boots, like standard boot with just like maybe half an inch, quarter inch, because I don't really like wearing heels. I'm always in slides or sneakers. Hell yeah. Sneakers can be really comfortable, and slides are super comfortable. For me, I definitely prefer boots. I mean, I have the two main boots that I wear are I have a Bloodborne special edition boot, like pair of boots that I love to wear everywhere. And then I also have a historic functional replica of Edwardian boots, so from the 1910s, that I really like to wear. And then when it's summer or I'm lazy, then I'm like, alright, sandals. Slice is like the show of choice for household travel. Real. That's so real. You can tell which people are from which tribe bloodline because they'll have matching tattoos or similar mustache styles and clothes. That's cool. That's awesome. I'm so cool. That's so cool that like they still have so much tradition alive in Norway too. I mean, being Anishinaabe, a lot of my relatives in my tribe is very colonized, so it's a lot of culture has been lost, unfortunately. So it makes me really happy that Norway is still trying to keep strong to it. It's awesome. The more we talk about this, the more I'm like, actually, I kind of really want to go to Norway. It's awesome. My father's side of the tribe is known for the Fenrir tattoo. That's cool. That's so cool. Holy crap. Fenrir is really badass. We're called the Wolf Tribe. Whoa. That's so sick. Holy shit. That's so cool. I feel like I used to know way more about Norwegian mythos, but I don't remember too much about Fenrir. I remember that he's a wolf, but I don't remember what he means in the context of the mythology. But that's so cool. Wolf tribe. That's awesome. I have relatives on my father's side that used to live in Germany in the Black Forest who had last names that were always regarding wolves. So my father's family has always been associated with wolves as well. And there's some of the like that's something that like wolves are some of the coolest creatures. They're so beautiful. I love them a lot. It's a pretty big festival. So many Viking, non-Viking people will come around from Denmark, Sweden, because there's Viking also. Hell yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, the Vikings are spread all throughout that area heavily. God, that's so cool. People from all over come to the Viking festival. Alright, I gotta change this window. I don't like how I did it. I think I'm gonna do... What I can make with this fortress is I can make it be where part of it is still has remnants of like the medieval keep it used to be. And then I can have there be like attachment. Like this is a more modern attachment built on. And these are like new flares added after the fact. There's quite a few real-life examples of castles that do that. Man, I want to go see a festival. I don't think I'd be very good for festivals, but that is really cool. I think there's so much... I think that's like the main thing that I really like is when people still like have ties to their cultural roots and can really enjoy all these things that made them who they are, the pride that can come with it. It's nice. And all that people with all their traditional food, clothes, music, lovely. That's awesome. It's so cool to be able to go somewhere and be able to be like, oh, get to see a side of everybody around you. Because like that's something is that like Norway's culture has been so rooted. I mean, obviously, her background is all pretty much Viking, so Me just walking around chugging food. Hell yeah. But the food's so good there. So curious. Actually, I don't know if I know much about a Viking Norwegian diet. I do. I was watching a video where they're talking about historical remnants that actually were talking about the blood bread some Vikings used to eat. That's the thing too, is blood actually was an important part of humans' diets in the past too, because a lot of nutrients were actually in the blood. So I always wanted to try that. So supposedly it just has a slight iron taste, but otherwise it's actually quite delicious bread. And Bubs gets mad. He's like, act more like a gentleman for like for God's sake. You're one of the strong men. Don't act like a fan. Well, where does he think your strength comes from? You can't be winning strongman competitions if you ain't got some food in you, though. I support you, Mr. Crazy. Continue eating and enjoying the food. It's what matters. I'm like, you can't blame me. To move this giant body, I need food for energy. Literally. That's awesome. Your dad is wrong in this case. You need to eat. Food. It comes from the air. The power comes from the air. Could you imagine if that's how that worked? Like photosynthesis, but with the air. It'd be fun. Interesting. Well, I'm trying to think if there's anything. I think plants are probably the only thing where that would happen. It's so interesting. Thinking about that now, I'm like, alright, let me think about this actually. Energy coming from the air. Me when I turn to a plant, become strong. Even they need their roots in the soil. Just food. It's getting to the part of the night where I become very philosophical and in my head. As it goes, as it goes. I am overworking this window immensely. It's the darkest thing here. Love the smoked fish and honey glazed root vegetables. Smoked fish and honey glazed root vegetables. That sounds really good. I just realized why everything is way lighter, because it just dawned on me. I was drawing with a gray brush for majority of it. There we go. Alright. I'm going to start the roof right here. I'm not sure what type of roof I want to do, but I'll do a very classic one. When did you start up streaming again? Today! Hi, Cotton Kisses. Yeah. It's been roughly about a month since I last streamed, but today we are jamming out, we're doodling, and I'm finally back to streaming. And it should be that way for hopefully a long while. I'll do everything I can to just keep at it. I missed you guys. I miss streaming. You guys must try mead. It's a traditional honey-based Viking alcohol, also known as the nectar of the gods. I've tried non-Norwegian meads, but I really do love meads. The one problem I do have with mead, though, is anything that has honey has a high chance of affecting me, because honey is actually technically an aphrodisiac, and it does work, so I very much try and avoid honey if I can, only in very limited uses. And that bad boy will knock you out cold. Hell yeah. God, I think Norwegian alcohol is really strong too. It's really yummy. Wish I could stay, but I have class at 8 AM tomorrow. Yeah, you should go rest. I'll be streaming more from here on, so be sure to rest up, get ready for class tomorrow. Take care. Alright. Always good to see you here, even for a brief while. You guys have so much fun. Thank you. Hope you have fun sleeping and resting too. Also getting ready for class. May your dreams be full of incredible and wonderful things. Aw, that's so sweet. It's always nice seeing people drop in too. I lurk? Alright. But be sure to go to bed. I know that you are capable of falling asleep to streams, but if you need to, feel free to turn off stream and just rest. Okay? Make sure to get all cozy, make sure to get yourself all situated with water and such. Right? Whenever I'm at the festival and I see that many lovely homemade soups and meat, I'm like, screw that demure gentleman. I mean, who can be a gentleman when they have delicious soup in front of them? It's difficult. Especially if it's yummy and it's warm and it smells good and it's savory. And something too is that, especially when you're eating like very hearty, rich foods, it's hard not to just want to turn to a beast and just consume it silly. The gentlemanly thing to do is devour the soup. Real patches, that's so true. It's to show how good it is, how yummy it is. And some fresh baked bread to go along with it. Oh, that sounds so good. Dipping bread. Gotta show the cook you enjoyed it beyond the bounds of manners. Real. It's amazing how many different cultures actually have that as a thing, where like the more polite and like gentlemanly you are while eating, the more they're like, oh god, they hated it. I find that really interesting. I feel like that makes the most sense though, because like trying to keep your manners intact and be like, oh, thank you, and then you like are like, all right, 4 utensils on either side. This spoon is the salad spoon. You're like very like trying your best to be mannerly. I think it's hard not to be like, oh god, I hate it. It's funny though, because I usually try and eat like that. But, I mean, that's the thing though, is that like, sometimes when you have like, my grandmother was very much like, upset whenever we would show like sloppy sides of ourselves, so I'm kind of just stuck being very like polite while eating. But then like sometimes it doesn't even seem like you really like it though, and cultural misunderstandings. Nah, I just hold the bug in the bowl and chug them down. Hell yeah. Kirby style, you're just inhaling the soup. You just open your mouth real big and then just whoop, shoop. I support you, Mr. Crazy. Devour that soup. It's how it has to be. Alright, adding a chimney, because chimneys are very important. Even if you don't have a fireplace, a lot of times houses will have chimneys or ventilation on top of the roof, because plumbing actually works because of release of external gases. Or internal gases, I should say. No, that's too center. I'm gonna move that off to the side, maybe make it smaller. For most tri-food, I would say crockpot, Viking stew, and Viking flat. Hell yeah. Yummy. Flatbread? Hell yeah. Flatbreads. Sounds delicious. Truly a feast. That's a match made in heaven. I love flatbreads. For us, Anishinaabe, we love fry bread, which is also a type of flatbread. I think almost every culture has its own variation of flatbread. And it never fails to just be absolutely delicious. But Viking soup, Viking crockpot, Viking stew with Viking flatbread. That sounds delicious. Alright. I think probably I'm gonna make... Just doing a little bit of an outline of how I want to extend the Sweeping Willow. I'm gonna go over it. It's funny, I'm like, I think I'm gonna try using values, and then I like immediately, not too long getting into the sketch, I'm like, no. We're going back into it. Whenever I eat a nice Viking stew, I'm like, the gates of Valhalla opens and Odin may sing you. Hell yeah. Sometimes eating good food has you feeling like life favors you beyond anything else. And you may take your rightful feet. Food can genuinely feel so divine. It's such a huge part of life. And it's amazing how much flavors can complement each other. How much warmth, being filled up with something delicious, can really make you feel like you're alive. It's really, really cool. I'm glad that you were able to go to these Viking festivals, Mr. Crazy. That's so cool. It seems like such an incredible event. I don't know if I like this window placement. I said I was wanted to make it a more medieval, but the more I think about this, the more I'm like, I want something to be different. But how? There's too many options. Alright. Going to erase this arrow. I kind of want to extend the building out this way. Alright, let's make the bottom edge of the house here. Whenever I hear Valhalla calling, or my mother told me, my blood just starts pumping, and her Viking starts kicking in. Hell yeah. It's really cool whenever you're exposed to like traditional elements of your ancestry, and you're like, oh my god. It's like, wait, I really am. Like, it's all of a sudden, it's like you aren't just some human, you're put into a context of something greater. All of a sudden, you aren't just, Mr. Crazy, but you truly are a Viking in that moment as well. It's a good feeling. I feel that way when I'm at traditional Anishinaabe drumming events, especially, or ceremonies as well. It's a really, really good feeling. Having ties to your culture and festivals or events related really, really feels nice, put into the greater context of things. It's especially nice too when they have really, really yummy food that you like. Trying to recreate a similar look at the bush, but now I'm using the wrong brush. I'm like, why does this look so different? Yeah, because you're using the wrong brush. Silly goose. There we go. Right. I'm not gonna erase it. I'm gonna go over and see if that can actually add more texture. Because if this actually turns out better than the bush I already drew, then I will go back over with that thinner brush. Fun fact, we still hold the traditional funerals, like float them in a boat and shoot arrow at it, burn it. That's awesome. Boat funerals are really, really cool. I've always really liked that. That's something for the high-ranking tribe members? Hell yeah. I love that. It's so cool being able to be put in a boat and then set ablaze. Are you aiming for that to be your way out, Mr. Crazy? Aiming to get high-ranked? I mean, that'd be pretty dang cool. I don't like how this bush is coming out. I can fix it though. No, I'm gonna have to rearrange things. It should be a bit farther back, so I should actually, let me see if I can make it better. Need to make it small. Maybe like that? No. Let me move it a little bit higher, maybe? Oh. There? I think that's good. Now I'm thinking about funerary rites. I think that the variation to funerary rites is so freaking cool. I remember I had learned about, when I was younger, about the monks that like toss themselves out onto the rocks when they die, and then vultures consume their body. I don't remember which culture that was. It was like Western, one of the things that's like west of China, one of those countries. I don't remember. I'll have to search it up later. According to the Viking tradition, the sea was a powerful and unpredictable force. It could transport the dead to their afterlife. The ocean was also a symbol of rebirth and renewal. Why did my mouse disappear just a second? The ocean also was a symbol of rebirth and renewal. The Vikings believed that the water could cleanse the deceased body and soul. That's awesome. That's so cool. Boat burials are so cool. I know as well that not only, of course, there's a lot of Viking cultures that would burn the ships, but there's also record evidence too of ones where they would bury Vikings in their boats on land as well. I do believe a few years back there was a woman in the UK who asked an archaeological group to check out a mound in her backyard and found out that it was actually an old Viking king that was buried in this mound in a boat with a lot of his treasures. That's so cool. The ocean as a symbol of rebirth and renewal. I like that a lot. Totally not like my lore has anything to do with renewal and the ocean or anything. But I do love the sea and I do love the water. I am also hydrophobic, but I think something too is when you really respect something, especially if it's a great power like that, naturally you're going to have some level of fear for it. Fire as well is one of those things that it makes sense to have some fear for it. Just like the ocean, it can be incredibly dangerous to deal with, but it can also be such a source of medicine, of care, of food, of good fortune, of travels. It's so cool. Whenever I'm camping and just chilling at the river, I'm like, take me now. Just laying there and float around. Oh, that always feels so good. To just hang out in the river and just lay in it. It's a good feeling. I like hanging out at big lakes and just sitting and watching the water too. This last month I was sitting by the riverside a ton. Just thinking about life. All these different things. It's a nice feeling. Also, you like literally get fish from the ocean, so it's pretty cool. True. It is very true, Cotton, because you also get fish from there. Also, shouldn't you be sleeping? You must rest. Cotton is like, no, but I need to talk about fish, please. I really do. Like, oh, I love the ocean. My friend that I was staying at their place is super into marine biology, and so we were watching a lot of like Mariana Trench best things, like all these like deep sea things in the ocean. Fun facts. of the ocean. Must talk about super cool thing. Must yap. No cotton kisses. You must lay down. Go to bed, please. And all the tribe has different Nordic gods they pray to, and everyone hates the Loki clan. Hell yeah. Loki is a god of trickery, so it doesn't surprise me too much. That's so cool. Alright. I don't know if I like how those bushes came out. But considering how big this canvas is gonna end up getting, I really shouldn't worry too much about it. I love hearing about different tribes. That's something that I would talk way more about my own tribe, but it's like, that's gonna get me doxxed. It's funny too, especially being Anishinaabe. Like, there's a reason I call myself Anishinaabe and not some of the more specific tribes within it. Because it is like, I also try and avoid speaking Anishinaabe too, because it's like, as soon as I start talking about it, all these slight pronunciations, all these like slight interpretations are like, I know what you are. It's very easy to get doxxed in that case. We pray to V/Vili. Ooh. Interesting. I don't think I've ever heard of that one. I gotta search that up. But like, the thing too is like, ooh, V, god of senses and expressions, Vidar. God of vengeance, Vil. God of thought and emotions. That's so cool. Touchstones. It says one word and someone in chat's like, I found you. Literally, like, anybody who has a decent, like, Anishinaabe studying background, it is very clear to tell where a dialect comes from. And, like, so many of, like, especially the stories, like, there's one, like, trickster god or, like, trickster demigod that's, like, really common in Anishinaabe folktales. And if I were to ever talk about him and call him by his name, that alone, that how I say it, would somebody could go on a map and be like, there, you're from there, your bloodline comes from there, and it's like, no, then it's over for me. That's one of the things that I've been trying to do is I've been actually trying to learn some different words from different like dialects and tribes, because I'm trying to, like, if I do ever spill, it's like, no, but I also said this thing is from a different but yeah, not that it, I don't know, like, I want to try and avoid talking about things that can get me doxxed, but it's like, ooh. Because, like, even, like, the main song I know how to play on the traditional drum, LMAO, trying to make a dialect failsafe, literally. And so it's like, ooh. Like, the one song I know how to play traditionally, if I were to tell you the name of the song and also play it, immediately, it's like a very specific regional song, so it's like, no, doxed. That's the pain of belonging to, like, a small group too, because it's not like a bigger tribe that has like a ton of people, so it'd be really easy to find me. You might come across a random rainbow. You can tell the location off of clouds, literally. Oh my god, have you seen those cases where like VTubers been doxxed just by like talking about the weather? It's like, oh my god. It's so strange. Like, not that I'm super against being doxxed, but it is like, as a VTuber, there is joy in also like being not known that well. Yeah. But maybe one day I'll be like, fuck it, and I'll start talking about more regarding my own tribe. Join the unknown, literally. And it's nice too, because like something too is like with the ghost town, like you guys can talk about yourselves as much as you want. Like I'm always happy to hear it. Something too is like, you can also choose to like, for instance, like the ghost town is a place that you can make self-inserts in. You can have fun being like, I want to actually be a bartender in the ghost town, Or I want to be a guy who just like stands and tries to sell people like pennies for like 10 cents. Like, and you just like randomly appear in like a random corridors. Like, it could be whatever you want. You aren't necessarily limited. I like that ability of the idea of being able to let people be whomever they want to be, including themselves. If you just want to be yourself, that's cool. But I do love hearing about especially tribal things as well, because I do have a lot of pride in being a Anishinaabe. And little times I'll talk about it. My insert is a thief that can shapeshift into rocks. No, that's awesome. Somebody's like burglar alarm goes off and they're like, oh no, did somebody sneak in? They're like, who left this rock on the floor? And they like pick it up and like toss it outside and you're like, yeah, safe. I want to be the bouncer of the ghost town, just standing on guard to see if who gets in and leaves. That's awesome. Hell yeah. Mr. Crazy's literally the security. He's like, You like throw them across the fucking ghost town out of it. That'd be awesome. Mr. Crazy's keeping it safe in here. He's just like standing there at the gates, like looking and like narrowing his eyes and being like, alright. That's really funny. I support you both. That's awesome. And I'm just the simple Mayor in Margrave who also handles other miscellaneous tasks. I would be like, the gates of Ghost Town won't open to you today, so and just throw them back. Hell yeah. May you come back when you're ready. That's awesome. Mr. Crazy's keeping these streets safe. Turns out like Mr. Crazy's actually just letting in people that are just like extremely like reckless and dangerous, and like everybody who's like mild-mannered just like, no, you can't come in. It'd be really funny. But I believe in Mr. Crazy's judgment. He'll keep it safe. Okay. Alright, this house is coming along pretty nice. It's very strange. It almost seems like it should be 3 different buildings, but that's okay. Meanwhile, while on my free time, hanging in the bar, talking to the ladies. Hell yeah. That's awesome. I think next environment I want to draw, it'd be kind of cool to draw like the main saloon of the place, the main bar. I kind of want to be like a kind of a pub feeling. My pupper is a small Fenrir. That's awesome. That's so fitting too. Mr. Crazy with a Fenrir puppy. That's so cute. They also help protect the town. Ain't nobody messing with the ghost town when Mr. Crazy and their cute little Fenrir's on patrol. Like, that's so cute. I love that. Alright, I'm changing the shape of this window. I want to be more angled and pointed. Alright, this should be good. Doing latticed windows again. I'm very predictable in that regard. Alright. Going to lighten up these little streaks though. I usually add these little like streaks to let people know like the direction or like where shadows are supposed to be casted. Sometimes they become a bit excessive. Gotta make sure to keep them on the down low. I never fully decided where this is. I just started doodling and then it just proceeded to turn into something more and more and more and more. That's something that I'm always, like, once I get some concept art down, I do kind of want to do some 3D streams and try and see if I can model some of these together. So that way it can be like a 3D little space people can, like, look at more properly. The doodle turned into a doodle, truly. For now, he can only be an ankle biter, but soon he will get big and get his full power and bite their neck off. Hell yeah. Next, make the gates and walls the town? Alright, I will. I just gotta slowly get through this first. Or I could go fast. I mean, I'm like, alright, 3 times speed. And I could. I've been like being really slow methodical about this because I've been like, alright, let me reach out, let me do this, let me do this, let me do this. But actually, let's do this fast. See how, because usually in general, I try and be a lot speedier about these things. Because I mean, like, a lot of times I'm drawing comics, so it's useful to be like faster. and draw small puppers sitting in the front of the gate. Meanwhile, I'm in the bar. Hell yeah. Pupper's doing the job. Mr. Crazy's like slacking off and he's just having a fun time slamming down drinks. As it goes. I kind of want there to be a support beam right here. I like to imagine that whatever this house is, considering its size, it'd probably have pretty nice, heavy-duty furniture inside. So having a beam to help support it would be nice. Alright, second level probably should just be similar windows. Alright. Another beam. This roof is very thatched. I don't know why I went with thatched. Usually thatched roofs are considered a cheaper form of construction, but I'm too lazy to draw shingles right now. One day I'll get really, really good at drawing like shale tiled roofs, and then it'll be a different game altogether. Okay. Roughly making the same window shape. Lattice windows. It's gonna be very interesting to look at what I draw very hasty versus what I draw slowly. Speed. I mean, I've currently been streaming for 2.5 hours. Usually I try and cap my streams at 3 hours, just actually for quite a few reasons. So the faster I can do this, probably the better. Because I do want to finish at least the lines. You've been cooking? Thank you. He might be an ankle biter, but he's brave. Hell yeah. The bravest ankle biter you've ever seen. And also, a lot of times that's enough. It's amazing how many people get really scared when they see a dog, even if it is just a puppy. Especially if they try and bite their ankles. Your little Fenrir is gonna do a good job with the gates. Alright. I could drop the window down a little bit more. Maybe define this a bit more. Okay. Now there's a few things I can do with this drawing. One of them is I want to... It's amazing how much removing that gradient changes this. Okay. Now, I said I was going to use the brush I used for sketching to do the rest of the tree, but I think I might just do the rest of the Weeping Willow with the same brush. Alright, bigger, 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 bigger. Yes. Because I'm too lazy to correct it. Besides, technically, this is concept art. And if you ever looked at concept art, it's usually just rough. It's just to get the general idea, to be able to paint a picture for people. Now, of course, some people go into incredible detail, but nah. It's not about perfection. It's about trying to get the idea across. If you can look at this tree and be like, yeah, it looks like a weeping willow, done my job. Ooh. Okay, let's add a little bit more. Just a little bit more depth, please. I'm gonna make this side a little bit more darker. You can tell I am not used to drawing this type of tree. I think about them a lot. But hey, there's a first time for everything, and this is the first time I think I've like actually like thought about it. Okay, a little bit more. And also, I wanted to switch over to the hatching brush. Get a little bit more grass. This is the grass, okay. A little bit lighter. A little bit lighter, actually. The imperfections make it slightly better. Thank you. I feel like a lot of my art style just kind of banks on that. It's like, alright, this is fucked up, but I hope you like it. Forgot also I had that gradient. Alright, let's... Ooh. And then I also want to add like a tree line back here. This is something... I enjoy the black and white pencil aspect here, I think. Makes a lot with little. Try my best. My favorite genre are... I grew up really liking black and white comics. I always thought it was really cool how they could like make a lot out of nothing. And then when I started drawing, I started realizing like shading and not focusing on coloring made everything so much easier. I'm just gonna like paint like trees in the back. Like a general like tree line. See how it goes. It's gonna be very rough. My favorite overall is just pixel art. Pixel art is so cool. Ooh, your new phone arrived? Hell yeah. That's awesome. I hope that you got a good new phone. That it treats you well. Exciting. Alright, just to get an idea of the tree line, I'm just doing general shapes. I got a Fold 7 because it has a big screen to watch streams and animes. Hell yeah. Nice priorities, nice priorities. For me, I'm very, very simple about my phones. I'm like, alright. Can I call? Can I text? Being able to make a 3D landscape out of pixel art looks beautiful. True. It's really, really cool. I really, really love pixel art immensely. One of my all-time favorite when it comes down to like pixel art and environment-wise, I really love the game Concede. One of my all-time faves. I mostly play Clash of Clans on my phone, so it looks awesome. Hell yeah. It's gonna be exciting. The only game I have on my phone now is, I think it's just Sudoku. I used to play a decent amount of Sword of Convalaria when it first came out, but then I was like, then I got too much of my feels, and I was like, no. That's a really fun game. I love the story for it. Candy Crush? No. There's no way I'd be playing Candy Crush. But I support people who do. Clash Royale. Interesting. God, that game was addictive. Got back into it. Hell yeah. I support you guys in your mobile game gaming. I've been wanting to find a game that I really like on my mobile phone, but I don't know. I like Sword of Convalaria for a bit, but that's it. Maybe one day. But I also read when I'm on my phone more than anything else. One day. I've been playing some 2v2 matches in Royale while watching the stream. Oh, nice! I hope you've been winning. You better be. Patch Stones is now like a part of the Ghost Town like e-gamer tournament for like Clash Royale. Indeed I have. Hell yeah. More wins than losses? Oh fuck yeah. That's awesome. I'm doing clan war attacks while watching my mates do their attacks. Hell yeah. I hope you both win and thrive and have a lot of fun. I don't know anything really about the game, however, I blindly support. I blindly support you guys. I can cheer, even if I don't know what's going on. I feel that way sometimes. Some of the streamers I watch also like to play, like, some of them do sometimes play League of Legends, and I'm like, I do not know what's going on whatsoever. Always feel so old. Think of them as like strategy game. Ooh. Alright. Once you enter Ghost Town, you're forced to join the Clash of Clans, the Clash Royale clans. Oh, I play here and there. Hell yeah. It's a mandatory rule. Hell yeah. You guys, me when I don't play, but it's like you guys had like just both being like Patches and Mr. Crazy are like, no. You have to join the Clash Clans and Clash Royale clans. You gotta. A new rule has been established, and I'm like, okay. Just like watching this all. Fenrir starts biting people when they don't download the game. God, that's really funny. Never mod us for dubbing non-clashers. Somebody's like, this isn't even like a Clash of Clans like type of stream. Why am I being banned for this? And it's like, nope, it's Ghost Town law. Unfortunately, it's just Ghost Town law. It's so funny. I'm always curious of how people can like make woods just exist without a lot of detail. I'm gonna have to... Just a second, I have an idea. It's definitely not a mod abuse. We're just vetting. As it goes. I support you guys. Right, I'm gonna add some basic shading. Oop. Formal, multiply. Maybe a bit higher. Maybe a bit lower. There we go. I just want to do a little bit of basic shading, just to make it a little bit more interesting, I suppose. I don't know what word I want to use. This is such an interesting drawing. Like, the one I did before was so clearly defined in what I was trying to do. Well, this one really did just end up becoming, like, doodling an environment. It's very unfocused. And, like, I have been talking about, like, some of the reasons why I was doing things, but even then, it's very strange. It feels like it's very unfinished in a lot of ways. I want to add a little bit of lightning to these stones as well. And honestly, it feels like I should extend the canvas right words. Oh, that's too big. I mean, I could just leave it as is. Actually, what if I want to chop that mostly? And then I'm going to go in with a pencil. Just kind of define this a bit more. To make it not seem like it's like... Mettie, why the fuck did you change brushes so much? Most of art really is experimenting. That's how you get better, that's how you figure things out. I think a lot of life is that too, you gotta take risks. Gotta make gambles. Alright. Trunk is climbing up here. This is being dragged down. Actually, that looks nice. Like, furrowed my brows. I'm like, it's not that bad. Never experiment while doing a tattoo on person that will get... Yeah. Please use practice skins. Do not practice tattooing on somebody. Oh my god. Yeah, definitely not that. One of my friends has a tattoo that's like just a single word that's like a reference to one of their favorite series. And the tattoo artist never let them know that they had never really done like typesetting and like letters before. And their tattoo looks so fucked. I don't even know how they did it so poorly, because like they used a stencil too, but it just ended up so bad. So yeah, never practice tattooing on somebody, and also let them know if you aren't used to doing something. Also too, make sure your tattoo artist can do what you want them to do, because oh my god, tattoo artists have their own specialties. And also, yeah, you have to be real brave to let somebody practice tattoo art on you. One of my friends, I just got them a tattoo gun last year, and they've been practicing. I also got them skins too, and like fake skins. And they are very nervous about doing it. They've done a tattoo on their leg now for themselves, and I'm like, all right, you gotta give me a small one. But their skill though has improved immensely, and they've been really focused. They're just like, no, I gotta practice more. I hope mine comes out decent. I hope so too, Patches. Are you gonna be their test dummy? Well, I mean, free tattoo, yes. And I've seen their skills; they're pretty good. And something too is like the tattoo they are like obsessed with this one character from a series, and they did like a small like chibi of their face from like a panel, and so it actually came out really good. So like for me, I genuinely want to kind of get a tattoo of a character that I care about a lot from the same series, that it's gonna be like really small. So even if it turns out, you know, not the greatest, I mean, it's gonna be small. So kind of, I would be okay with them practicing on me, because like it would be something that we both agree on. And something that, like, I know their skills are decent on. They've been an artist for a long time, too. Though, I do think it'd be kind of funny, though, if they do, like, really fuck it up. But, yeah. There's a few places on my body where I don't mind if I have a wonkier tattoo. But there's some places, like, arms, back, my chest is already pretty much entirely tattooed. But anywhere left on my chest... and neck as well, like that I need to have very professionally, very picky about how that's going to be done when I get more tattoos. But where I'd probably get it is maybe my leg somewhere. I don't really mind about that. Somewhere small on like my thigh or my calf would be fine. I don't really mind. I have a big ass Fenrir on my right hand. Oh hell yeah, that's sick. That's awesome. That's so cool. I love tattoos. And a lightning bolt on my left hand? That's freaking awesome. I can't talk about the tattoos I have because it'll get me doxxed because they're very visible. But oh, I love tattoos, I love tattoos, I love tattoos. They're so... oh, I love them so much. Placements, design, what it means to somebody is so cool. So I can smite the scumbags? Hell yeah. A punch that... a punch with a bit of a bite on it. They just like get zapped. All of a sudden they get a bite. Your tattoo like bites them. It'd be cool. Lightning and Fenrir. That's sick. That's so cool. I love that. That's so freaking cool. I would love to get hand tattoos. I think I have an idea what I want to get for one of them. I use my left arm to smack so that they feel like they got hit by lightning. I punch with my right arm so they can feel the pain. Man, getting beaten by Mr. Crazy must hurt like a son of a bitch. You're really wailing on them. Divine Smite. On each side for meaning. Hell yeah. God, that's so cool. I love the thought behind it too. Especially now knowing about your Norwegian heritage and about what Fenrir means to you. That's so cool. Oh my gosh. And you bet I like to give them a backhand pimp slap? Hell yeah. It's amazing how much it can hurt when you get hit with that backhand, especially if you get your knuckles to hit them just right. It can be really painful. Anybody who tries to get into the ghost town and Mr. Crazy ain't feeling it, oh, they're gonna get hit with an incredible amount of force. Alright, I'm glad I went in with this pen, because now this feels a lot more like a semi-finished drawing. Is gonna get pimped the shit out of them. Hell yeah. God. Everybody starts being afraid of the ghost town, trying to get in. It's crazy, it's now notorious for just how much it hurts. There's like signs on like the wall saying, be careful, you might get pimp slapped. God, that's so stupid. I love that. The best defense. Yeah, our ghost town has the best defense. We got Fenrir and we got Mr. Crazy. You don't want to be hit by Mr. Crazy. Alright, I'm giving up on trying to texture these trees. I'm just doing squiggles. Alright. I think that's good enough. I never did decide on what window I wanted to put up here. One like here, I suppose. Just on the edge of the framing. I took my pupper to the dog park. He feels so lost. I mean, have you taken him to the dog park? You said you're in Germany now. He's like, what? This isn't my usual dog park. Where are we? These dogs aren't speaking normal dog. They're speaking German dog. I wonder if German dogs do have a different bark. It'd be funny. I know that sometimes cats will have a different meow based on the location they are in. All the other dogs are getting called in German, so he doesn't understand the commands. That's so funny. He's like, huh? I don't understand this language. He's like, I feel like I should be understanding what they're saying, but I don't. It's so funny. The poor doggy dilemma. Now you gotta teach him German. That way he won't feel left out. He just turns back and looks at me like, Papa, what are these humans saying? Aww. He's feeling left out. He needs to get German doggy lessons. I look back at him like, same buddy. I don't understand shit. You guys together can be lost. That's all. That's so cute. I kind of want to make there be like a well hidden a little bit by the plumage. Man, if I was a dog in a foreign country and I didn't understand what they were saying, I'd probably be confused too. I think I only know a little bit of German, but like not any that I can speak. Only ones that like I've heard because one of my good friends growing up was studying German and his parents or his dad was German. And so I got exposed to some of his language skills with it. And it's amazing how much you can actually learn just by being around somebody who's speaking the language. They speaking in tongues that we don't know. Real. I'm sure that's probably reassuring for your pupper too. He's like, at least my owner doesn't know either. They're like equally as lost. I don't know if I like how this well's turning out. I feel like I need something around it to like make it feel more in place. Now, there's a few ways I can do that. One is adding a little bit of texture to make the grass seem like it's coming up around it. Maybe add a little bit of a bush next to it. And then two, and I could also add like a little stone path. Do just very quick circular motions to see if I can try and capture the vibe of like a stone path that leads from like a side exit. All right. Now, I don't want to leave the sky as white, so I'm gonna use an airbrush and just very quickly make a little bit of a gradient in the sky. And then a little bit of an airbrush just to make some of the things exposed to light a little bit softer, maybe. And I definitely want to add a little bit more texture, so we're switching back to the hatching brush. And then adding a little bit in. Oop. A little bit lighter. Yeah, I like that. Just a little bit. Just so you know the grass. There's grass. Switching back and forth between clear option, transparent brush, pigmented. Just add a little bit darker. Transparent. make the area by the woods way darker, just to make a little bit more of like shadows being casted. Nice. Fun fact, in Norway, you will run into many wolf dogs, mostly husky and wolf mix. That is awesome. And they big as fuck, can fuck you up. I have been able to see a few wolf dogs myself. There's a few tribes that I interact with where like wolf dogs are still very common. And they are huge. They're incredibly beautiful too. God, I love them a lot. But that's something too, is that like, it's amazing where like, for natives, you know, especially northern natives, like, wolves have been a part of like friendship for like quite a while. And so it's very interesting seeing these variations that are very different from normal ones. I have seen all black wolf dog. Pastor will kill a person just because it can for fun. That's cool. That's really cool. I've only seen white wolf dogs. Or like off-white. Whitish wolf dogs. Full black wolf dog. Oh, that's freaking cool. And he was a pet? Hell yeah. See, that's the thing is, like, I feel like most wolf dogs you have to own with respect. Like, it's definitely not something you can treat like a normal dog. Like, you genuinely... It will tell if you were trying to treat it like a lesser individual in a lot of ways. It's really cool. I was like, you sick bastard. You're living under the same roof as this beast? It's so cool. It's so fascinating, too. I do think that you're the alpha bish, please. Yeah. I feel like when you have a wolf dog, it's almost more like a cat than a usual dog because you have to show respect, and it is going to be running the house in a lot of ways. It's just how it goes. Okay, adding a little bit more shade. But especially if you're that close, like if an animal's that close to its wilder ancestors, it is going to need you to respect its boundaries extremely. And if you have more than two, they become pack. And unless you train them well, show them you're the alpha, practically are on their menu. Yeah. There's a reason why breeding wolf dogs and having them is very, very limited. Because it is not a safe thing to do. Centuries and I think millennia of domestication had to happen for dogs to be as docile as they are now. For wolf dogs, they're pretty much just barely not wild. They're tolerant. But that tolerance will run short eventually. Lucky for me, because it's traditional for us, so we're allowed to keep wolf dogs. Hell yeah. Same thing with some of the Anishinaabe communities. One of the reasons why I've been able to see wolf dogs. Though some of the wolf dogs owners I have known probably shouldn't be owning them either. Just drawing little clouds down a little bit of... I know a few people that have real wolves became one of their pack. They basically live close to the forest and you don't want to fuck with them. Hell yeah. That's freaking cool. Okay. I think this is pretty good with this drawing. I'm gonna just quickly write Ghosttownmettie. And I feel like this is like an outskirts house. Like, if you don't want to live in the ghost town, like in the city part of it, you can just like remain on a bit on the outskirts and have like your own little house. Ghost town. Midi. I don't have a stabilizer on, so it's like really rough, my handwriting, but whatever. Imagine seeing a pack of wolves running in your yard. Nah, I could never. That'd be so cool. Honestly, I'd be a little nervous. I've had coyotes, a pack of coyotes in my yard, which wasn't that bad, but coyotes are really tiny things. Actually, I'm gonna make that smaller. I think wolves would be intimidating because they are so huge. I'm gonna put it here. Shrink, shrink. Yeah. Alright, and then I want to write a quick, kind of like how this says market district. I want to write like house outskirts. Outskirt house? Rural location? Rural estate. And the big bad alpha steps into that moment. You know shit got real. Oh god. Well, that's their house now. That's their yard now. It's over for you. Alright, Wooded house is an option. Wooded estate. I wanna write that. Wooded estate. I kinda add a channel in the Discord where it's like ghost town locations. So like even if I doodle something off stream, you guys can like be updated and be like, okay, new location dropped. Wooded, whatever location, wooded home. You know, considering I was doodling with no thoughts really in my head, that's pretty good. I like it. Okay. We've done it. What time is it? Oh, it's exactly 3 hours. People think they can just shoot like a bitch. You know they are not just big, but very flexible and fast. Can dodge it and rip your neck out. Even professional hunters try to avoid hunting wolves. They crazy smart and can hold grudges. Yeah. No, it's something that like, if you do want to kill a wolf, you don't use a gun. If you do, you need to use something that's gonna really, really pack a punch. In general, wolves shouldn't be killed though because they're keystone species and are so important for the environment. Yeah. Wolves are badass. They're huge, they're smart, they're brilliant, they're intelligent. God, wolves are really cool. Actually, I kind of make this bigger. Alright. Oh, I didn't realize I was drawing on the same, I wrote that on the same layer as the clouds. I wanted to make it bigger. Alright. Move that over. Big. Keep aspect ratio. It has been 3 hours of streaming. I have successfully finished one illustration, but I did say it was going to be doodling, and that's what I was mostly doing. Thinking about locations too. So, you know, I like it. There's a different appeal for both of the drawings I've drawn so far on stream of the ghost town. This one feels like very atmospheric, while this one is very... I should probably shade it in color. I feel like the market district has so much going on with it, I should shade it. But I will probably be ending stream here because I have some things I have to do. Also, make sure to drink, hydrate, stretch, and I will be ending stream here. So, thank you to everybody who has come by today. Thank you to everybody who has chatted, and thank you to the lurkers as well. And same with the VOD watchers in the future. And I hope to see you again next time. And I'm also excited to do more streams where I can draw and expand on more of the ghost town. It's something that I really, really like doing. So, thank you, everybody. And I hope you have a good day, good night, good morning, wherever you are. Bye-bye.